every culture is involved in racing. If you're not racing horses on the Asian steppes, you'd be racing dog sleds up in the Arctic.
When I was a little girl, my dad had a horse hauling company, and we would go to racetracks all over the place. I think I've been almost every racetrack in the country. But when we got there was always somebody from home, and oh, he runs so-and-so's shed, or he does this, or he does that. It was always somebody from home, and those guys have been all over. So, I mean, when you go to Churchill, the guys that are working the gates, a lot of them are from Louisiana, and it's just because they're competitive and they're very good at what they do, and they excel, and they come from our culture. When we were kids, how we would decide which horse was yours was we'd go out in the pasture and we'd point at them and say, that's the one I want, that's the one that I want. And we didn't get the money and we didn't get anything for it, but it was the one you got to root for. It was your horse. A filly that I had picked out, she became a broodmare, and so I guess that's how I first became a breeder. When Evangeline Downs came into existence in the mid-60s, the people from the bush tracks migrated directly there and were very competitive. And they have gone to national prominence in racing. If at all possible, they want to come home because this is where their real connections are. This is where their roots are. When people would come from outside of our area to race at Evangeline, they would compete and did very well. And the bush tracks not only were in South Louisiana, they were all over the South. And I remember traveling to Texas and different places like that, and people from South Louisiana were very competitive at all of those tracks. I think horse racing in Louisiana is like the food and all the rest of the culture. I mean, it's part of what we are. It's what makes us unique. It's what makes us special. It's what makes us wonderful. So everybody has to love a horse.